minute today. Sorry. Okay, boys, please tell me what in God's green earth happened yesterday.
Or do you want us to start?
Please, from the beginning, so I have full context and clarity.
If I miss any parts, Jayden, you go through pretty much.
Yeah, I'll
Or we
do
just
a
go back and forth.
TLDR of what you say. It's all good.
Yeah. Alright, so pretty much yesterday, me and Jay, I wake up first, and the Jay wakes up. It's his off day. Um, one of the first things that was mentioned is that Merrick is having a conversation with Reggie. I saw a text from her saying, "Call me, or we need to talk or some shit." Like 2 hours before I woke up. I asked Cassie, I'm like, "What are they talking about?" Then Cassie gives me the rundown about how in this specific job, there's a situation that happened with Kiyomi, where she was pretty much in the job. Technically, meanwhile, there's people around, and she was passenger, right? And Merck pretty much wanted to talk to Reggie about the whole situation, you know. And so pretty much originally she had Cassie with her, um, and then Cassie got removed from the meeting, and then it was just her and Reggie. And yeah, that's how it started off. That's how like the first things we heard. Um, I got given a rundown about how people felt about Kiyomi. Majority of the people are not really a fan of her, which is not surprising. It's just more so they're speaking up about it. They don't like the majority of the things they don't like about her is kind of like things they hear about her. How she talks about Royce. How they always see her pretty much with Reggie only and doesn't really seem to be putting effort into getting to know the rest and or try to fix those bridges that she has broken.
Well, she's not trying to join the
Um,
gang, though, right?
yeah, she's not, but she's being brought on jobs.
She gets brought
Here's the root issue, okay? The root issue is that she is being put on jobs, right? And for an instance, I feel like it's a buildup of things. And yes, or the topic yesterday was that she was in a car with Reggie as passenger, meanwhile on the job, not in a car by herself, helping out properly, right? Reggie's defense to that, from what he told all of them, is that they were doing a repair block and that's why she was passenger, and it doesn't matter that she's passenger. Now, either way, right? If he wants to bring her on jobs, he brings her on jobs. They're not gonna tell him no because he's second in command, right? They're scared to talk to him. And
Agree. I was about to bring that point up. Like, what can anybody
yeah,
do about it? Go on.
and yeah, but the thing is, right, is that it makes things awkward within the gang, and she gets a lot of side eyes. And if people already have an opinion of her, and this, and that, right, already within like the last 2 to 3 weeks, right, pretty much continuing to bring her on jobs and all, it's not going to help anything, make anything better. Anyways, apparently Merc talked to Kiyomi, and then Kiyomi said, like, she already knows people don't fuck with her in the gang, blah 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 blah. This, and that, and I asked people how they feel about her, and they expressed how they felt about her. And so, yeah, Merc has a conversation with Reggie, um, and then we've talked to Merc, we've talked to Cassie about the whole situation that has occurred, and then we decided to talk to Reggie. And yeah,
because like they were highlighting issues, and Reggie, when we spoke last time, right? Me, you, KJ, Reggie, and then Louis joined later. Reggie said if something comes up to go to him, so we're like, fuck it, we'll talk to him because it's it's fresh, it's new. Don't want to wait for you to wake up tomorrow and then seem like we're talking to you over him. Like, let's bring it to him and see what we can do, right?
Okay. All right. Fair.
So
yeah.
then, so we talked to him, and we start listing the stuff that's going on, and he's like, he kept trying to like change topic or like be like, oh no, it's not really this, or we're doing this. He was trying to like justify why, but that wasn't working. So then he tried to blame others. So they were doing the job, I think 2 days ago.
Okay.
And I think Mentor started a hot run, or was going to start a hot run, and Reggie called Royce that he needs 3 people,
Okay.
and Royce tells him, oh, like, we can't help right now, we're helping Faye with a moonshine run, we'll help you, we'll help you once we're done or whatever. And Reggie was fine with that, whatever. They got the people, But one of the 3 people that he already accounted for when asking for free extra was Kiyomi. He didn't ask if there's more people awake, if there's, who's around, any of that stuff, right? And that was one of the main issues that Merc was highlighting, that she gets to go on jobs when there is members around that could go over her.
Fair?
And
Okay.
Reggie was trying to justify that, oh, he didn't know who's awake
Yeah.
or like who's around or whatever. And I was like, well, maybe if you were around the people, you would know who was awake. Like if you're on the radio, you'll probably hear different voices and you will see who is around, right? And I said that, even you, no disrespect to you, a lot of the time, usually you gauge who's around because you go to Vespucci the first thing you wake up and you will see X, Y, and Z, and then you would ask them who else is around, right?
Of course. Because I care.
So I was trying to I was like, giving him all these things, examples, like trying to like say how it looks to other people, but it seemed like he felt like he was being attacked, like that was like a opinion that was maybe me and Louis had or whatever, right? Which will be important later in what I'm about to say, because he asked us like a big question at the end.
Just keep going.
But
I'll fill in.
Anyway, so he's trying to justify. Then he's trying to like blame them for trying to help Faye with the job when they knew that they were gonna do a hot run, but they started the hot run knowing that people were busy. I was trying to tell him, it's your fault for starting a job when you don't have 6 people ready, because they told you that they were doing something else. So like it's in your power to wait those 5-10 extra minutes and not start the job. Because let's say for whatever reason the hot run gets a response, the moonshine run gets a response, and they can't help each other. Like, it's just stupid, right, to do that and put all these different people at risk. Why he wasn't seeing that, and when I said,
not what he said to you.
Well,
Not what he said.
Wait, what did he say?
He's like, he deflected and he goes, "Well, I'm second in
He
command,
said,
and I gave my
I'm
assessment to
second
go."
in
And I'm like,
command.
what the
Yeah.
fuck?
It's like I made my assessment. What goes? No.
It's some
What
shit.
I
means
do
he
goes
starts
or
it-
something like that. Yeah.
And some
So-
shit he
so
can
it
start it
was
with 3
like-
people if he wants to.
Yeah. So it's like, okay, well, that's not incorrect, but then why are you trying to blame other people for your clouded judgment is what it seems like to me, right?
He's complaining that sometimes people are not available to do the jobs and whatnot. So
Okay, and my rebuttal to that was that
Yeah,
we
exactly.
had that talk before, and you
No,
yourself
because he said-
mentioned that we should
no.
just grab the people
Here is
that
his
we
comment.
see.
His comment was, "Why are they helping Faye over us?" Or some shit, right? That was his,
Exactly.
like defense.
and then you
okay?
boom him back
the
by
thing is-
saying you prioritize Kiyomi, and then you did something knowing that everybody
No,
might
but the
be.
thing is, okay, I'll tell you some. I'm gonna highlight some issues, Benji, right?
Yeah.
And I want you to actually listen to this. It's not us trolling. All right? I'm gonna be straight up with you, right?
Sure.
He mentions you can always talk to me, but every time you talk to him, right, or you put the truth out there, he gets hurt. Okay, this is just a hard fact. It happened on Big White that one day when I told him to take accountability, and it happened again recently. It is
Bro, it was-
almost impossible to have a conversation with him unless it's from you, and that's not a us issue. That's a him issue. That's
Yeah,
number
like
one.
he wants
Number two.
members to reach out to him, right? But then when Merc spoke to him, apparently
It
he
is
did the same thing to
impossible.
Merc. He was deflecting, then he was trying to shift blame, and then he was trying to like he went emo
Here's-
on her and try and like manipulate her emotionally, basically to like to side with him or whatever. Like it's just cooked.
Hold on. My number two thing that's fucking annoying as shit, all right, throughout all these talks, okay? You tell him how it is, he deflects it into yesterday's talk with me and Jayden with him was literally meant to be, hey, we have this issue going on with the rest of the gang, okay? Pretty much, we're trying to help out, let's fix this. But no. We don't take it like that. We take it as in a gang thing now. We bring out ranks. We bring out technicalities of if I can start a job or not. We bring out, hey, I can do this or do that. Hey, you should call me, you should call this. What the fuck is wrong with the guy? Genuinely. The talk was actually meant to help him. And we talk about how there's an issue. The root issue is this relationship and how it's causing his image, his fucking everything within the gang, with the rest of the gang, right? And it turns into a gang thing and being about rank thing. It is insane to me that this
Like
is what's happening.
he had the issue that Merc bought Cassie along with her. And I
Because she
told
did
him
not
that
trust
you're a
him.
new person. People don't really know how this new you that goes off of emotions is going to react.
Well, hold on. 2 seconds. So the reason Merc brought Cassie, right? She was afraid, right, that something could happen. She could have someone with her, right? Now he asked her, "Do you trust me?" or some shit. And apparently she took a long pause and then she said yes. All right. But what she really meant to say was no. Okay. And part of the, like, if you think about it, there was apparently a situation once with what's his name, Rami, where Rami kidnapped Kiyomi, and then he had like a 6 gear up and like get ready to go, and people were kind of confused on like what the fuck is going on. This apparently is like 2 weeks ago. I found out about it yesterday.
Rami talked to Kiyomi like that?
2 weeks ago, apparently he kidnapped
He
her.
kidnapped her because a different Reggie from the future told him. I think
Yeah,
Rami was
some
like
shit
high
like
on
that.
drugs or something.
Yeah, and then fucking, I don't know, grabbed a 6, and people thought they were gonna shoot fucking
People
Rami
like
or
other
whatever the
members
fuck.
were concerned for Rami, you know, in case Reggie asked to shoot him. Like, you know, they were like,
Anyways.
they don't know what he's gonna ask, you know,
Anyways,
of them to do, you know.
the genuine TLDR is, yesterday we tried talking to the guy about a situation that involves his relationship and everything he does within the gang and the rest of the gang, and it got turned into being a gang thing, and it was a fucking screaming battle and a fucking shit show. That's the TLDR, brother.
Yeah, but basically, we saw issues. We spoke to the members that, you know, we saw those issues from or heard about them from to find out more, get their side. We went to Reggie to tell him about it. He didn't really acknowledge any of those issues as like things that might be caused by him or his relationship or whatever. And in the end, he decided to pull rank, and then he asked us if we trust him as second in command, and I said no instantly, because the way he currently is and the judgment he is going off of or making, I do not trust. The fact that someone that would always be against us doing a job without 6 people is like, oh, it's fine to do it with 3, and then tries to blame the other 3 for not being free when they already told them that they might not be free as they start the job. So, you know, in theory, the correct judgment would be, oh, let me wait 5-10 minutes, see if they're done by then, and then we can start this job, you know? He's always someone that would look out for his members, no? And try and make sure that everyone is safe. But this time around, he's fine with that group of people maybe getting caught and the group of people that's doing the job with him maybe getting caught. It just doesn't make sense. It doesn't add up. It's not the usual Reggie. It's not our Reggie, right?
Okay,
so, like,
okay.
I'm not going to trust this new version of him.
I get that. I get that. So now let me ask you this, okay? Everything that's happened so far, if Reggie didn't have Kiyomi right now, would this even be a problem? If he did the same exact things
that's-
without Kiyomi, and it was just him.
Okay. I'll tell you this, okay? Are we against that he is with Kiyomi? No. Are we against how he is navigating this whole thing with Kiyomi? Yes, because he is not navigating shit properly. He is, okay, the root problem, Benji, is his relationship. It's fixable, but it's his relationship because it's affecting his shit with the gang and everybody in the gang. That's the issue. He cannot accept that.
He's been more distant from the gang, from the people. I feel like a lot of stuff that happens, he doesn't really know what's happening anymore at times. There are things that get brought to him and then he pawns it off to me or Louis, and he doesn't really deal with it. So again, he doesn't really know about those things either. And him and Kiyomi, whatever, not an issue. Like, the whole point of that talk was to highlight that he is sort of prioritizing her over the gang, and it's being very apparent. So he needs to figure out how he's going to balance the two properly, so that, you know, the gang members don't lose more respect for him or whatever, or their image of him doesn't change, you know. But we didn't even get to that point because he went all defensive straight away, and then he did pull the rank and then asked us if we trust him, and then he just left. Like, after when we said no, he just like, okay, and he just turned around and walked off, or limped off, because he had a broken leg.
So to answer your question is that he needs to set his priorities straight in that sense, and that he needs to be able to accept some criticism. If he's not going to be able to do those things, then he is fucking cooked, as he currently is cooked because he was not able to yesterday.
Okay.
And you asked
But
if he did those
okay.
things-
Here's the
You
issue.
asked if he did those things without her, right?
Yeah. If he
The
did those
issue is
things
he needs
without
to-
her,
Then
What
I would
things?
still point out
What's the
those
things?
issues that he's doing those things. Like,
Shut
those
up.
are not, like, you know, correct things to do. Those are things that he has told off many people before when they've done that. So
here's the thing
it
though.
wouldn't make sense for him to do that, right?
When you approach this, right? Because, like, for example, depending on who you approach and how you do it, you know, the effect will change. did you approach him as he is your boss? Or did you approach him like he was your bro and you were trying to give
I'll tell you.
advice and fuck around? Like, you know, what's going? Because
so we
God forbid you do this to me, I'll kill you both. If you think you can tell me what to do during my free time, you know, do you know what I'm saying? Like, I have done crackhead shit. And like, if anybody told me how to hang out with fucking any of the girls from the past, I would like kill y'all, bro. Like, wouldn't you guys do the same? Have you not been in the Southside gang? You know what I'm saying? Like, Jayden knows. Like, if anybody told Draco, Mona's taking away this, that from you, you're dead. You know what I mean? That's the simplest example I can give you, Jayden. Like, how do you feel about that?
No, I get what you mean. And I don't think. Well, the thing is, we didn't really even get to talk about that in a way because we didn't get that far in the conversation.
Just a lot of being defensive, essentially. Then
it's
like
deflected
because
fully.
yeah, like we you know we were trying to highlight issues that have been
Jayden calls him, right?
shown to us, you know.
Jayden calls him. All right, and we're like, let's have a talk. We pull up at the gym. He pulls up at the block. He was hanging out with her. She drops him off. He pulls up to the block. Okay, and we're hanging out. Oh, we're at the gym. We started talking, and he's like, you know, Merc said this to me. He's like, out of the whole conversation that I had with Merc, the only thing that pissed me off or whatever is that when I asked her, does she trust me as a second in command, right? She hesitated and paused, and he was like, and I was like, what do you think about that, right? Because it's a valid question, in my opinion. And he goes, but that's for me and Benji to discuss. I was like, all right.
But then I went to like say how like, oh, it might be because other gang members just see you differently because you know you're hanging out with this
exactly, and
new
then
person,
it turned into
showing this
what
new
is wrong
side,
with
blah,
this
blah, blah.
gang, blah blah blah. And I asked her, and I was like, do you think everybody's crazy and like, you know, like we're all crazy here? And he goes off and it starts off into a screaming battle, and a lot of back and forth, and then the technicalities on the do's and don'ts and whatever the fuck, and pretty much the main subject that we're trying to talk about gets shoved under the rug, and then it gets turned into a fucking screaming battle, and then yeah, that's what happened yesterday.
Like the only reason we went to talk to him is because he asked us to talk to him about these things. So like, we tried to, but it just didn't really go anywhere.
Yeah.
okay. So I want to ask you something. All right. So does any part of you feel like? Okay. He asked you to talk about it. That's why you feel comfortable with questioning it, correct?
No, we've asked him to talk about it.
Okay.
And then he said, stop beating around the bush. Then we told him how it
He
is.
said
straight
to
up.
bring up if there's issues that arise to bring it up to him so he can like you know figure out how to fix them or work on them or whatever. Like that was the convo me, you, KJ, and him had.
Okay.
And I brought something up about I think it was something about Kiyomi going like him prioritizing Kiyomi on like getting her out from a job or something. And he was like, oh, you know, I didn't know that was an issue, whatever. If there's anything else like that, you know, talk to me. I was like, okay, well, we just found this out. Let's go talk to him. I was like, the first thing I said to Louis after we were done talking to Cassie and to Merc, we should talk to
So you're
Reggie,
trying.
and if, you know,
So you're
depending on
trying
how
to
it goes,
talk.
we'll talk to you.
You're trying to talk to him about why a member just seemed like
Not a member. Members.
like members seem to distrust him. So you just wanted to bring up the conversation, and then you just told him the reality of what you see. Correct?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I mean, here's the thing, right? In all honesty, would you understand the situation if he did pull up the rank card, similar to how, like when Louis and Amika started dating? And let's be honest here, okay? I need to be what KJ likes to say the most, okay? Devil's advocate. When you started hanging out with Amika, right? It was an unproportional amount of time. Like you were there all the time with her.
That's not true.
At every single race. No. I'm telling you, that's how I saw it.
True.
That's how I saw it.
Yeah, I get to hang out with her. 20 minutes a day.
No, let
That's
me just tell you before you rebut, okay? I told you all the time that you were just gone, and people would say the same thing, and they make jokes about the whole thing, right? But ultimately, I didn't give a fuck, because if I didn't have a problem with it, who else was going to question you? So I'm saying, is this a situation where he should have been questioned in the first place? Do you know what I'm saying? Like, does he not have that invulnerability to not be affected because he's second in command? I'm wondering about that. Just like how you or Jayden, if you did that kind of same shit, if I didn't have a problem with it, how dare the bottom have an issue with it? I'm just curious how you guys feel about that. It's obviously not the situation right now, but I
Okay.
need to know.
I was about to say that it's not the same situation at all.
Uh,
Not one tiny bit.
To you, how you're saying and how you believe that
he's
right
saying
now.
how like,
He believes
Benji will wake
No, I'll
up.
he
tell you
believes
why,
the
though.
same
I'll tell you
shit.
why, though.
He believes the same
tell
shit.
you
That's
why,
the
though.
problem.
What?
He
About
believes
me and
it,
Ricky?
yeah, he believes it's not a
Yeah,
problem.
that's called deflecting.
No. He
Okay.
believes he
Well-
doesn't have a problem. Him and Kiyomi. He never talked
I'll
about
tell
you
why.
two. He
I'll
never
tell
talked
why it's
about you
different. I'll
two.
tell you what's different. I'll tell you why it's different though, right? Because me and Amika, right? Even though I personally believe we didn't hang out that much, but let's say you did or other people did, right? It did not affect my image in the gang. It did not make people trust me less, and it did not make me do less for the gang.
Do you agree, Jayden?
Do I agree with what Louis just said?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think he got like any of that stuff happened when he was hanging out with Amiga. I also don't feel like I feel like Louis actually does have a decent balance between the two. Like he usually, most of the time when he spends time with her, it's near the end of, a day. So by then, we've already done more than enough, and there's like not
Some
much
days,
more we can
some
do.
days I get to see her for like 5 minutes, 10 minutes maybe. But the point is, this is not about me and Amika or Reggie and Kiyomi.
No. It's not. You don't understand what I'm saying. I'm talking about whether or not his situation should even be a concern of question for anybody.
Yes, it is, because the second in command, his image is getting cooked by the whole gang, not just by one person having an issue with it, right? It's the whole gang. And as a council, right, we are there to try to save his image and try to make sure people are not saying these
but-
things and making sure we fix the issues. And
Well-
then we bring
well-
up the issues like we're supposed to, right? And then here we are.
What Benji's trying to say is if it doesn't bother him, why should it bother the other members? I think, right? Is that
Yeah.
correct? Yeah. Like why
If it doesn't bother him, if he's not bothered,
yeah. Why
that
are
he's
other
hanging out with her
members,
all day.
you losing respect to him
Okay.
and whatnot if
Alright.
Benji thinks it's okay for him to do so? They should,
Okay.
that means that they should be in line with what Benji's thinking, and they themselves should also be okay with him
Yeah.
doing so.
Let
Okay.
me
Benji,
explain.
you have a girlfriend.
Yeah.
Okay, let's say you're in Reggie's you're second in command. You have a
Yeah.
girlfriend. Okay. And the reality is, this person, right, has history with some people in the gang and has also burnt bridges with people in the gang, meaning they don't really get along. They don't like each other. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And then, right, let's say
I've
with
done
me
that
and
a lot.
Jayden, and we're those people that don't like. Okay. Yeah. Okay. And how would you feel if your gang did not like that person? And really dislike that person, and then you keep bringing that person and shoving them up their asses in jobs. I mean, it's one of two things, right? You're either gonna kill everybody and blood them out, right? Or we resolve the issue. We try to talk about it. We try to see what the issues are, and we can resolve things. Correct?
Agree.
Yeah, and there you go. We're trying to fix things here. There's a solution. To this whole conversation, there's a solution about this whole relationship shit. It's just we cannot get to that point, when we have screaming battles and sit here and, we talk about technicalities. That's what I'm trying to say.
I'll put it this way, right? If you're fine with it, I feel like the members should also be fine with it. However, from your talk from the talk that at least I had with you, I was around you. You think he's compromised, which seems like
It is.
to us it is on us to try and support him or make sure that he doesn't look stupid in front of the members. So that's what we were trying to do yesterday by letting him know how the members are feeling, so he can try and adjust accordingly so that he doesn't keep losing said respect and trust and whatnot.
Also, he's not just any person. He's second in command.
Here's the thing, though, right, boys? I need you to understand something, okay? Like inherently in all this, because we don't even need to put this in Reggie's shoes. Let's just say Louis if you were Reggie, right, and it's you, not Reggie, okay? I'm talking slightly lower in rank here, okay? If you went and you blooded out people who had a problem with your girl and you just wanted to make sure that your gang is your gang and people started dropping who disagreed with that, you know I'd be completely okay with that, right?
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So I just need you to understand that's my thinking at the moment. But the only problem is, you know, I have my own opinions on certain things that as it stands.
I mean, look, here's how I see it, right? I agree with you on that point. I mean, if I was, let's say you, Benji, you made this game, right? This is your game. No, you see why no one tells you what to do? One, it's because you're a leader. But rank aside, this is your thing. You want your gang how you want it to be. You know what I mean? Not how this person wants it to be, not how Merc wants it to be. This is how you want your gang to be, correct?
Okay.
We can all agree on that because you're the leader. All right. Now, the perspective here is, right, as council, right, of this gang, okay, we are trying to make sure the second in command is good. We are trying to have a conversation with him about how the rest of the gang is feeling, right? Now, just to say this, I'll say it again, by your logic, right, if that's the route we want to take, then, you know, everybody else is gone.
I'm asking you because when Merc said to you that she doesn't trust Reggie,
She did not say that.
She didn't say that.
She didn't say that, but the truth
I
is...
thought she did say
right,
no
she
to you.
No. She said that that's what he asked her, but that's what we interpret. Because she is scared to say that. You feel me? The same way she gave a pause to Reggie and then goes, yes, when he asked her, does she trust him?
Okay, I'll put it this way, right? No one's, you know, bad-mouthed Reggie. No one really shit-talked that stuff, whatever. They were just giving their point of views on things. And obviously, they're not going to, you know, say it to our faces, right? That, oh, you know, they don't like this, they don't like that. They're going to give examples and like things that didn't really sit right with them, whatever. And from that, personally, what I interpreted and I guess assumed were the things I was trying to convey to Reggie, but we didn't get that far. I don't want you to think like I went into the conversation not trusting Reggie. That wasn't the case. My answer to his question was based on that whole conversation.
Okay.
Which is why when the first thing I asked Reggie is, oh, I heard you had a convo with Merc. How did that go? How did you feel about it? I was trying to get his point of view on that conversation so that I can then say, oh, like, this is what it looked like from her point of view. And then we can try and, you know, figure out what we can do about it. Oh, yeah, it didn't happen.
Yeah.
So
Because also,
it wasn't like I was like, oh, yeah, your girl is shit. You know, like that wasn't the whole point. The whole point was like, oh, Merc told us this. Well, you know, how did you take it? What happened in your eyes? You know, all of that shit. Okay, well, her issues seem to be this, and that. What can we do? How can we fix it? You know, what's going on?
also, this whole Yomi issue shit, it needs to be resolved. Meaning, no more drama with people in the gang and coexist and fix this whole thing, because the more it goes on, Benji, the worse it will get for Reggie.
How bad is it?
Her.
How bad is this whole
it's not
Kiyomi
affecting
thing?
Reggie. It's not affecting Kiyomi. It's affecting Reggie's position in the gang. His relationship is affecting him as a person and how he is viewed, which goes a long way. That's the issue here, Benji.
Give me some real examples, though. Give me some real examples.
People don't like her. People don't like her.
Give me some real
Cassie,
examples.
Yusuf, Connor, Royce.
Why?
Whoever the fuck.
Why? Like,
How
give
she
me
talks
some.
how she talks about their gang member Royce. How in jobs, you know, they feel like she's being picked over people in the gang. How
certain people know about the fucking the whole Alfie thing and they don't fuck with her
shit, and
of
they don't have a
that.
good opinion of her. This and that. But the thing is, it's fixable. Conversations can happen. Okay, it's fixable. okay? But they don't feel like she doesn't even care about to get to know people. Yeah, she's not trying to join, yeah? But the thing is, they see it as, okay, she's with Reggie all fucking day, barely knows anybody, barely talks to anybody, and then she gets put in jobs over people. People are gonna feel a type of way. I'm willing to talk to the girl. I barely know her. I'm willing to talk to her and give her advice on how getting to know people and just being friends. It doesn't have to be she's trying to join the gang. It doesn't have to be any of that. And to the point of like they can coexist, no drama, no fucking unnecessary shit. And if there's a spot available, bring her on the job. Like, you know, small things like this, right? They're not even that big, but they build up. They build up, and then small instance like the job where she's a passenger, right? Of course, I told you this, Benji, 2 weeks ago. They will make her feel unwelcomed. On top of the tents, I told you this. And guess what happens? Now they make her feel unwelcome.
For me, the biggest thing I wanted to avoid is like feelings and you know, emotions, whatever, building up, and then someone saying something or doing something which Reggie does take as like the wrong way, and he just booms them, and then we lose members over something that we could have prevented, which was the whole
And, like,
point of reason behind having that conversation yesterday.
For instance, yesterday, Reggie was taken hostage. She called us, like she called Royce, and then I called her for like more information.
Oh
Yeah. Like he got taken hostage, right?
Like 2 peeps.
Some 2 guys, apparently small crims. They used to be morons or whatever. Anyways,
Yeah,
I'll tell you what. She called us, right?
Yeah.
She called us, right? And we instantly took a 6 and Roy and found them, right? And we shut them down. But the thing is, what I'm trying to say is, like, people can coexist with her, okay? All of this can be fixed with simple conversations, right? But we must be able to talk to each other to fix this. You know? This is not about ranks. It's not about gang shit. It's about a relationship that is affecting, despite it's her problems, it is affecting Reggie in the gang. You see what I'm trying to say, Benji?
Yeah, of course.
Like, I'm dead ass telling you, we're not here trying to shit on him or ruin the guy's image. We're trying to talk to him to make sure all of this is fixable. We can fix this, conversations can be had, and everything will be chill. Even with her, I can talk to her, I can give her advice on how to get to know people better, so there's less drama.
So she's aware of everything that's happening right now.
She's aware. I don't know. I know she's aware of people don't like her. Apparently, that's what she told Merck. She's aware people don't fuck with her. So, like, she doesn't try to get to know people or talk to people at all, from my knowledge. She doesn't put in that effort. But then when there's a job, right, and she's in it, and for example, let's say she's passenger, right, the slightest thing is gonna make people like blow up and react, be like, what the fuck, like, why is she a passenger? Get her in a car or some shit, you know, to help properly. Or like if there's a chase and you know she's getting prioritized over everyone else, or like she's being put in a 6 over somebody else, yada 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 yada. And Reggie knows people don't like her. Okay, Reggie knows people don't like her.
And
I think it's all fixable.
Let me ask you genuinely, okay? Just the 2 of you. Don't think about the other members and the fact that a lot of them were your ex-boys. All right, Louis? If Reggie can be fixed, and he comes back to us, and he says he only cares about you two's opinions on what's going on, and he doesn't really care if we got rid of everybody else, will you guys be okay with that or not?
Get rid of the whole gang?
The people that have a problem with Kiyomi. Let's say he wanted to protect her like that. Is that something that you can honestly back or no?
So what you're saying is, right, hypothetical.
If on some shit he comes up to you and he says, bro, yes, I know I'm fucked up and I like it and I love it and I want her to be my fucking wife. Okay? Yeah. Louis, back me the fuck up. Do you do it? Or you gonna make the list of complaints fighting against it? You know what I'm saying? Is he still your second in command? Or you telling yourself something else? Well, that answers the question, Jayden, doesn't it?
You know my answer.
Which is?
if it came over down to Kiyomi or everyone else, I'd choose everyone else. That's my honesty. I'm not gonna lie to you to your face.
Well, that's the problem.
I have nothing but respect for Reggie. No, I have nothing but respect for Reggie, right? But if it comes down to him being compromised over that girl, and it means getting rid of everybody else, I would choose everybody else.
Yeah, but
And
what
that's
if
my
he
honesty.
wasn't compromised? Is what I'm saying. If he
It's
seemed
situational,
like
it's context.
exactly, that's what I'm telling you.
Yeah, context.
What
But in this
if
con-
he
in
knew
this
what
current
he
context-
wanted? No.
in this
What
current
if he
context-
knew what he wanted and people couldn't get fixed? Louis, do you need to see 25 conversations happen in front of you where you then say, oh, Reggie, she really tried. Now I back you. Do you really need that from your second in command? Do you get where I'm coming from here, boys? The problem
You're
is
saying
no. The problem
if-
is that I don't know if it's you as well, Jayden. The problem here is that Louis has certain thresholds. You get me? There is no. How do I say this? What is the term for it? The fact is, Louis, you're operating under the assumption that certain parameters need to be met for you to listen. Whereas, you know, like, I would always believe that you would be okay. Do you understand what I'm trying to say there?
You need to elaborate more.
Like, no matter what, I believe Reggie would do the best for me and the gang. You get what I'm saying
course.
on that shit, but you don't.
I disagree.
No,
No, I
you.
believe that. I believe if you personally, Benji, told him, go do this for me, I believe he would do it. Yeah.
No. Do you guys get what I'm saying? Like,
But that's
there's
two different things.
no. That's why I'm trying to find a fucking term for it. Give me a second.
Okay, you've questioned my will to the gang,
Exactly.
right? In comparison to Reggie's girlfriend being put over members.
Yes, but the thing is, what if that decision was done coherently? You know what I mean?
What does that mean?
Like, what if he had made that decision actively knowing that it would make people feel some type of way, but he's still your second in command? Do you guys get what I'm
Okay,
saying here?
Then we're bringing relationship over gang stuff, and that's an issue. Is it not?
Yes,
If
it is.
a relationship is being prioritized over a gang, that is an issue.
No, I'm asking you how far you'd go for Reggie, brother. That's all I'm asking you.
Brother, when it comes down to Reggie, I've backed him up no matter what. This is not me not backing up Reggie, Benji. This is me trying to help Reggie. If me being honest, trying to help Reggie is taken that way, then I don't know what to tell you.
I think what we're trying to do is, I guess you could say save him, but what Benji's trying to ask is, what if he doesn't need saving?
And it's not that. I'm trying to gauge the situation right now. Because there are some dumb questions that I'm asking y'all that y'all would have just said.
Okay,
You guys would have
I
said
feel like
yes to
Reggie-
some of this shit 2 weeks ago. Do you feel me?
I feel like Reggie is for you, 100%. For the gang, I'm not sure.
I agree on that. I agree.
And because of that, the question that you're asking, would we boom other gang members for Reggie, which in turn would be for Kiyomi, it's kind of hard to answer.
And it's not a fair one.
Because like, I'm not really sure if I'd be willing to do that for Reggie. If it means we're saving the gang, yeah, I would be down to do that. But for Reggie himself, probably not.
Which would you not do for Reggie himself?
Boom the members.
But that's because you felt like they did no wrong, right?
No,
That's
I
because
feel
it's
like
over
a lot of
Kiyomi.
them.
It's not over.
I feel
the
like a
gang.
lot of them are in the wrong in their own way, but I also feel like they do bring up valid things. Like, it's not black and white for me. Like, you know, I'll always look at both sides and try and gauge what what makes most sense.
In other words, Benji, with all due respect, Kiyomi will not be prioritized over any member in the gang.
Now, if Reggie wants to, to be on jobs, whatever, sure. But
It's not good for
he's
the gang.
hurting the gang.
Is it the best decision? No.
in the long term, because that will lead to us having to boom people because of it, and we will do it because it is what it is. It's for the gang.
But then we're fucking over the gang over personal relationship.
But yeah, but like in the long run, we're just gonna lose members because of it.
Okay.
We're gonna lose everything. not
I've
just
come up
members.
with a better line of questioning here. Sorry, I realize now. My question is that to me, there's certain people like Reggie and KJ, and even the two of you actually, that can get away with a lot of shit. And I mean a lot of shit. Where essentially the decisions that I would take are completely batshit crazy. There would be I do not foresee a limit where I don't back you, is what I'm saying. Okay? And now, in a moment of weakness, which we know it all is, we seem to not have his back here. Okay? And I'm not talking about active decisions as of right now. I am talking about the fact that now you have stated that I cannot do this because it goes against the gang, blah, blah, blah. You have an active mindset of that he needs to make the right decisions or else I will not back him anymore. You feel me? You guys get what I'm saying now? It's like
I understand what you're saying.
Yeah, there's no longer the brotherhood of no matter what, I got your back, Reggie. We'll sort this out. You're not challenging me on the hypotheticals. You're not challenging me or saying that you won't let it get to that point. You guys are saying to me right now, he cannot make a certain decision that goes wrong because if he does, I'll have to go the other way. Is how I feel right now. You get me?
So I'll answer or like re-answer.
Sure.
I don't think it's like that for me personally. For me, the biggest issue is that he's not accountable or like seeing these things, I think that's the biggest thing for me. Like if he heard and maybe he was like, I don't agree with most of this, but like, I get what you're saying and I'll see, what's going on. Then yes, I feel like he can make mistakes. It's fine making mistakes. It's fine being in the wrong. The idea is that hopefully when someone points those out to you, you sort of understand or see them,
I'll tell you this, Benji. It is not that we are not backing up Reggie. It is that Reggie is refusing to listen to any of us about this matter. To be quite frankly, I don't think he's listening to you, me, or Jayden about this whole situation.
Stop assuming.
Sorry, I was mad for a sec. Well, okay. I'll put me and Jayden for sure, right? And we are his counsel. And if we're talking about brotherhood, right? And your brothers are telling you, hey, like, we have an issue. We gotta work on this. We gotta do this. That is not us not backing him up. That is us trying to help protect him, Benji.
He's only seeing like his side or their side or whatever. He's not, being.
He says, talk to me. He says, speak to me about issues. Okay? One person speaks to him about issue, he spins it towards command thing. And then, let me guess, he wants to blot out Merc. I'm assuming. Okay. We speak to him about issues, right? It gets brought up again, the same issues. And then, we're the bad people for talking about issues. So do we not talk about anything or we just shut up? I mean, we can do that. He has to be able to take accountability and be able to listen. And sometimes in life, you have to accept when you're wrong. And if, you you can't, then it is what it is. You can't really do much. That's the hard truth.
I think you could say our mistake is for trying to, I guess, in our, or like at least in my mind, save Reggie while also saving the gang. I feel like that sort of maybe answers your question, because you're like, for you it would be just saving Reggie, doesn't matter how it affects everything else. But for me, I would like to be able to save both if that's a possibility.
Yeah.
No, I agree. I mean, we're counsel for a reason. I think, and it's valid of us to try to do so.
Yeah. I don't think you're wrong, boys. I don't think you're perfectly right either, but I don't think you're wrong. Give me 1 second. Let me think. Get hell. Okay, here's the problem. Inherently, this is fucked. Benji's put in a weird spot right now because Reggie, who used to be able to do anything for Benji, has other priorities now. We knew exactly that this was going to happen. We talked about his image. This is the issue here. The problem is that Reggie. This is Benji's thoughts, by the way. Okay, chat. Don't have the effect right now. The problem for Benji and the problem for Reggie is, I feel like he might have lost a lot of the respect that he already built. I think he's worse than square one right now. And the issue is, and that's very apparent because Jayden doesn't just completely back him right now. I'm not there to see how he acts with Kiyomi, but I feel like it's very obvious just from this one conversation and conversation with Reggie how it is. I think the man is in love. And he doesn't know what to do with himself. That's why I'm saying, is this the moment Benji's been waiting for, though? So he can be on his own. Something else to consider. All right, let's go for a drive. When you go for a drive, let's go and talk to Reggie. I need to see everything in just out there.
All right, who's driving?
Louis Drive. I'll call him. That would have meet here.
I don't know if he's.
Apollo.
You got him?
No, try again.
What's a good place to meet, boys?
I don't know, bro. I don't do this, man.
The jetty.
Bro, everyone
No, we
does
do
the
somewhere
jetty
else.
now.
Yeah, we do somewhere else.
What did Uzi say, chat? What did Uzi say?